And the people who have voted are, I think, showing inclined towards lean startup. Good to go? No strong reservation from the software engineering group? Make sense? Okay. So how many of you have thought of opening up a restaurant? None? You? Okay, good. Whenever somebody starts thinking of a business, what they think? या तो कुलचे की रेडी लगा लेते हैं, ठीक है, या फिर रेस्टोरेंट खोल लेते हैं. If you have not thought of, you will think soon about it. Whenever something will come in your mind, then you will think of, okay, restaurant खोल लेते हैं. So now this talk is about opening up, not restaurant, but something which can help you to grow. Now, what are the challenges and how it works? I am sharing kind of experience of my own. So, Piyush has introduced me. I am Saket Bansal and I was working as a project manager for long. Till 2013, I was in job, and from last 1.5 years, I am doing my own thing. So, I run a company named ABES Consultancy, and there we train people on project management. So, in a one side, I am helping people to manage project. What is project? All of you understand project management? Yeah. So something which is unique, something which is temporary, which is not going to sustain forever. If you want to create that, it is called project. Okay, so that is how we define project, and helping managers to manage project is project management. So I train people in doing project management. Usually my clientele is somebody who's already having 15-20 years of project management experience. So usually working professional comes to me, and kind of first time I'm interacting with college students, that too pure college students. Like usually we have a few college students in a group, but usually I have a client base who are having 15-16 odd years of experience. So that is what I have been doing. Now in my company, we are at a mid stage. I can't say that we are successful, but we are surviving. It's been 2 years. But 1.5+ years, but we are doing something. So, since I was in college, I thought of opening up a restaurant. I thought of a lot about it, then I realized it's an expensive proposition. So I thought of restaurant may be expensive, then may I open a tiffin center. So I will distribute tiffins to the college students, maybe to the working professionals. Then I thought of opening up a software development company, making some cloud-based software product, so people can buy it software as a service. So many ideas keep coming. So when you think about doing something on your own, you end up thinking of millions of ideas. And once you start thinking in that direction, you will realize what I am speaking about. Now, but entrepreneurship, or thinking of doing something on your own, is full of risks. Anybody know who is running, any in your friend circle, anybody in your friend circle doing his own thing, or in your relations, known circle, who is starting up his own thing? Do you have an experience of observing someone who is starting up on his own? Anybody? Have you observed someone who is trying to set up his own thing? Okay, you have that experience. So you will realize entrepreneurship is all about taking risk. Now risk is everywhere. Whatever we do, there is full of risk. But there are categories of risk. The most pure type of risk is called where you can calculate the probability. So most of you are engineering students, you understand that if I have a bag and you need to pick a ball out of that particular bag, you can calculate the probability of white balls and red balls on the basis of number of balls there. So that is something, a risk probability, that if you have a 5 red, 5 white, you can calculate that what is the probability of getting white ball. So it's a statistical calculatable risk. The second situation is where you have ambiguity, where you don't know how many balls are there, you only know that there are few red balls, and you want to search the red ball. That's the second level of uncertainty. The third level of uncertainty, which is called true uncertainty, is something where you don't know how many balls are there. Do you really have a red ball inside? And still you are trying to take red ball out of it. So that kind of uncertainties is involved when you start off your own. So startup, doing entrepreneurship is all about taking risk and working in a true uncertain environment. Now, There is a concept called lean startup. Lean startup is a movement, is a philosophy which talks about how we can apply lean principles. So lean is a way of improving processes. You gradually you will hear about Toyota. They try to identify that what are we doing? Are we doing some wasteful activities in our day-to-day thing? Identifying those wasteful activities and removing them is a simple definition of lean. So lean is a concept, and applying lean things into a lean startup in a startup makes it lean startup. And lean startup defines startups as a human institutions designed to create a new product or service under condition of extreme uncertainty. So what is extreme uncertainties? Where you don't know, do you really have an opportunity? Now, what do we do? Lean talks about that even if you work in such uncertain environment, if you apply some principles, if you learn from your experience, you can navigate it. You can make a successful institution out of it. Now, anybody having a business idea except opening of a restaurant, launching a website, making a app which can replace WhatsApp or replacing Facebook maybe? Any idea? Now, if you have to make an application which can replace monster.com or a naukri.com, if you have to launch a job site which facilitates college students to get a right job, how much time will it take? If you are 3-4 people and you want to make a website which will help college students to find a job, and your target is that our website should become so popular, more popular than naukri.com, monster.com, whatever, xyz.com. How much time will it take? 5 years. Realistic estimate, maybe more also. It's a realistic estimate, but can you sustain for 5 years? Then what do? Drop the idea? That is what people do. Okay. So most startup fails, and if you start thinking that okay, I need to make something. Now, even if you work with a guest number, just like a 5-year, 10 people working, first thing is it's difficult to sustain for 5 years. And other thing is that you will, most of the startup companies, 80% of the companies who start, they close down within 1 year. So people starting up and realizing that this is not working, let's go back to the job. Especially those who have been into the job, who have tasted the job comfort before, where they were getting a regular 1 point some lakhs of salary per month, and here they have nothing, and even they are spending money. So most startups keeps failing, and reason remains why. Why people fail? Why it takes 5 years? Any answer? Why 80% of the startup fails? Any guess? There should be something. Competition. But you should prepare for competition. And yeah, so competition is one thing. So we find difficult to compete. Marketing. Lack of resources. So capital, पैसा नहीं है. बिना पैसे के क्या करेंगे? Okay. Good. Status means society में status नहीं है. So that is kind of adaptation speech. So it is said that these all are solvable problems, you know. For example, marketing. Nowadays, even the social media is so strong. People can spread their things. If you have something, you can spread it well. Now there are problems. There are capitals. There are marketing. All sort of problems are there. And usual reasons is that when somebody starts thinking of startup, so this is something we are talking about where we are even not thinking of starting up. But there are people who end up thinking that we will get some money, we will get investment from XYZ, we need to make something ready. And what they do, they create a plan. They usually create a plan for 5 years. They create that, okay, this is how we will go. This is how, you might have read in your MBAs that how to create a business plan. So business plan talks about making forecast, making some estimation of market size, calculating expected revenue, calculating your cash flows and showing a picture to an investor, to others, that this idea can give you a lots of money. Okay, so that is how we start. That is how usually the people who think of starting, they start. They start with a big plan, but what happens, you might have heard, no plan survives contact with enemy. So whatever plan you make, as you start executing, it starts from failure. So your plan is good till the time it is on paper. As you get into execution, things starts changing. Now usually what these startup guys do is, they're the one who have started the plan is not working, then they throw away plan and start doing whatever it takes, let's keep doing. So they try to do few things, and if something works, then the company is successful. If nothing works, then company is closed. So that is a usual story which happen in most of the startups. The 80% of the startups which gets closed in the first year of their formation, this is the trend which you will see. Any question on this? Making sense? 75% people who are not voted, are you happy with the conversation? Okay. Now, so, come again, Carter. Okay, so do we have a solution? Now, till now we are only talking about this world is going to finish one day. Okay, this is going to finish, so what to do? Things are not working, you don't have money, your plan will fail, you don't have a option to make it popular, to bring people on your website, people will go to Facebook only, etc., etc. So many problems. But is there any solution? Yes, we do have a solution. And the problem is, as many of you who have took an initiative to spoke about it, they spoke about all traditional business problems. The traditional business problems is, when we think of starting up a company, we start thinking like Reliance. We start thinking like that we will open a big company like this, which need a money, which will have marketing things, which will need 5 years to develop. You are not that big organization, and you can't think like a big organization when you are starting up. You need to think like something like this girl, where you are trapping, understanding, learning your each steps. So we need to start accepting that startup is not like a traditional stable organization, where the simple management concept which you have been reading will work. In case of startups, you can't survive without innovation. Startups who survives, who grows, has something innovative. If you are selling aloo pyaj, Reliance can do it better. Don't think of putting a aloo pyaj thela in front of Reliance. You will bankrupt very soon, because they will sell in a rare condition environment cheaper than you. So you need to have something which is innovative. Now, innovation does not mean that product itself should have been innovative. The delivery channel could be innovative. Means, or supplying aloo pyaz on a SMS through a WhatsApp group could be an innovative channel. So even if you are selling some stable product, but you may have a channel to deliver it which is very innovative, which the traditional organizations are not thinking. The best could be that you have a product itself innovative. Maybe like aloo pyaz only, you sell them after cleaning, cutting, so they are just ready to cook. So whoever is going to home, they just buy a packet from you and cook the vegetable. Because most of the time they spend in cleaning and cutting, you have a ready-made vegetables which can be just cooked differently, innovative product. Just an example. May work, may not work. So we need to think of something different. You can't just open another restaurant and sustain. You know, good percentage of restaurant closes down within first year. And there are only few who survives and who really make profit. And if you study them, they have something unique, which is not comparable with others. So you should have something innovative, unique in order to survive. Yeah, question? Somebody was asking something? No. Now, in project management, in any management philosophy, we talk about various types of systems. So till now I was talking about common sense. Now look at the system for some clues. There are simple systems. The simple systems are the type of systems where problems are simple. For example, if you go to say Samsung service center and you report some problem related to your phone, they know what kind of problems can come in a phone. They categorize it and give you a solution. So means where the set of problems are defined, or for example, you go to a McDonald's, you order a burger, they know which burger has to be delivered and what are the processes. So if the process is so simple, then only you can use a simple process, which is used by stable organizations. But when things becomes complex, so I am not talking about others, they are something which you can investigate later, but in case of startups, the system is complex. Now what is complex? Now you know how many burgers are getting sold in this restaurant per day. You have a data. You also know what does it cost to deliver a one burger. You have a data. You know how much time it takes to deliver a burger. You can create a hypothesis. You can identify how to make it more profitable. But when you are thinking of opening a burger shop in front of some locality which is unknown to you, and even burgers are, you are not sure if these guys will like the burger or not. In those scenarios where you are introducing new product in a new location, then you need a complex system. A complex system is you don't have a data. It is like Columbus is looking for India. So he has started from his journey from Britain and he is looking for India. He may end up reaching United States, but he is looking for India. Now when he is doing his journey, he is not aware in which direction he has to go. He has some vision. He knows that there is something at this distance I can find, and then I will navigate and I will reach India and make big money. That is what the startup has to think about. They do have a direction, they do have a vision, but they don't have anything planned. They need to probe. Probe talks about run some exploration. If you think burger will make sense here, let's try to serve few burgers for free without even putting up a big plant. So you do something to explore your idea. So the first thing startup should do is run an exploration cycle and then make some sense out of it. Then identify, is this thing working? If it is working, then build further. If it is not, then change the direction. Site. So we spoke about job site. It will take 5 years. Now, do we really need to make a site like Naukri.com in order to capture the job seekers' visit? Can't we do it differently? Can't we make a Facebook app which is a job site? So rather than a traditional job site, this job site is just a Facebook app job site where jobs get applied, jobs get searched, jobs get commented just using Facebook. Now, you may make big money, more money than that particular 5-year plan. The goal is to serve the job seeker and make money, not to replicate Naukri.com. If you end up replicating Naukri.com, you are going to die. Because you will not have 5 years and nobody will fund it. And in that 5 years, they will reach from here to somewhere else. They will grow. They will keep innovating. So you can just, or alternative, you may have a phone app. The phone app gives all sorts of alerts and all the job related stuff. So rather than thinking of a traditional website, you can think of something else which serves the finding job problem, or a referral site where the college alumni connect with their previous alumni through some social media, and then they recommend jobs and post jobs and there things happen. So there could be hundreds of alternative ways which one can think of in order to make money, in order to serve the job seekers in a better way. So that is something we should probe and then sense. Now out of these 100, 90 may not work. So you need to have a way to identify which one is not working. And the one which is working, you should take it forward. And if we follow this learning curve, we can make startup successful. Now the lean startup is all about this. It talks about that when you have an idea, build that idea. Build some product around that idea. And that product should be a minimum viable product. Heard about minimum viable product? MBA guys, you must have heard of. MVP or MMF, minimum marketable features. The minimum viable product is a type of product which is having minimum features but still viable to the customer. Means the client, your target segment, will buy it because that product is solving their problem, but you have not invested 5 years in building it. It has to be of minimum features. Why? Because you are not sure will your customer will really like it, and once he starts liking it, then only you will realize which feature he is liking it. You might build an integration with LinkedIn in your job site, and while using your product, your MVP, you realize that people are more interested in integrating your product with Facebook. So the minimum viable product, we should first build that minimum viable product and then start measuring. Then start learning out of it that what area, which section of this product is really getting used by my target customers. The area which get used, we need to analyze the data and take the learning in the loop. So building, learning and refinement should be the cycle which can make your product as per your market. In the absence of this cycle, you may end up building something which may not be needed by the time it is ready. Now, building MVP, how do you build it? So think about what is your market. Think about what they really care for, what they love, what is missing in the current offerings, and only those slices build them. So for example, if I talk about jobs, if you realize that your target segment is the people who spend maximum internet time on Facebook rather than on browser, so those people are not getting something of a job site kind of application just on Facebook, and they find it difficult to go out from Facebook and apply for a job. So you identify those things and build the product which only serves that purpose. And after building that MVP, we need to validate our hypothesis. Now you all are doing engineering, must have heard about statistical hypothesis, null hypothesis theorem, so many hypotheses. So what is hypothesis? Can't we live without those hypotheses? See, whenever we do something, we need to assume, we need to make some hypothesis that this is the feature, Facebook feature is going to be liked by the individuals. They will really love it. What is this? This is a value hypothesis that I feel that they will really love it. The second type of hypothesis is when they start interacting on Facebook, this interaction will go in the feed of their own network, and that feed will help me to grow my product. That feed will help me to take my product to other job seekers who are in the network of these individuals. This is called growth hypothesis. So first we need to think about value hypothesis, which provide a value to my target segment. Then second hypothesis is how I am going to grow Facebook. So how I am going to attract more customers. So that's the growth reasons. First I serve, then I think about growth. So we need to make those two hypotheses and then validate them. Validate them by way of checking some data. Now, if you are working on a web applications, if you are working on a website related things, web provides significant mechanism to validate your data. Heard about Google Analytics? Few of you. What is Google Analytics? Any guess? This is a way of observing how people are coming to your website, which area they are using, from where they are coming, why they are leaving. This generates huge amount of data for you. It helps you to identify which of my page product is attracting customer, how much time they are spending it, and from which geography they are coming. Are they coming from cities? Are they coming from United States? How I am growing? So use that data and measure your hypothesis. Is it still valid? If it is not valid, you need to make some corrections. So this is something I was talking about. So nowadays, website is not the only channel for spreading your voice. You can participate in social networks. You can make your YouTube videos. So there are various communication channels available to you in today's time. Now things which used to take 5 6 years ago, now they can be done in 6 months or even less time, because communication is so fast. Now if I have thought of starting a project management training company 6 years ago, I might have taken 1 or 2 years just to make my name visible to many of the individuals who can start recognizing me. Now it just takes 6 months to make my product visible to this world. We get more visits from United States than India. We have more customers from US and the Gulf region, including Saudi Arabia, UAE, than India. How? Internet, communication, YouTube, LinkedIn groups. So now you have such a dynamic communication channels. If you utilize them well, you need to have innovative solution for it. They can produce good amount of buzz for you. Now it is not like that. Unlike Hindi movies, the startup stories are not that straight. It's not like that you are taking one step and then it will succeed and then you will. So life is not like movies. Things do go wrong and you may end up taking some hypotheses which were very wrong. You may identify that whatever assumption you have made, it was wrong. So you need to change your direction, and that is something which is called pivot or persevere. So persevere talks about that I keep following what I am thinking of. I have the enough clues which is showing that my hypothesis was right. If it is not, change direction. Don't make Facebook app for job site. Let's go to mobile app. Or even maybe leave job. Maybe think of something which helps people to connect with each other in colleges and try or just help them to learn. So the idea here is just keep your cycle small. If your cycle is big, like what is this cycle I am talking about? Experimenting till learning. The time difference between experimentation and learning should be small, so you get an idea what is working and what is not working. So that is something which is all behind the lean startup thing. So there are few small things. This is the final slide. The good news is, so this is the final slide which summarizes the things. After that we can have Q&A in case you have. So the lean startup principle talks about keep small batch size. So what is batch size? Don't produce 100 quantity at one go. Just produce small batches. Because if you are producing big quantity, you are storing them in your office or in your work area or at your home, wherever, and they are not producing cash. So the lean focuses on the sooner things goes to the customer, the better it is. Because as it goes to the customer, you will know the customer is willing to pay for it or not. You will also get some money if they end up paying for it. And if there are some errors, if there are some expectation mismatch in your product, they will be known early to you. So keep small batch size, keep focusing, inspecting and adapting, keep learning, focus on innovation, value over growth. Focus on value and then focus on growth. What is value? See, there are two phones. One is Samsung Galaxy, another is Apple iPhone 5. Why some people buy iPhone, other buys Galaxy? Because they value the respective product. Value means what I get by paying 40,000 rupees. If I value what I am getting after paying 40,000 rupees, then only I will buy it. So we should provide a value So then only the person will buy. Now value is a perceived value. There are two people may look at the same thing in a different way, but we need to focus on our customer segment. Whatever value proposition they have in mind, your product should provide that value. So you should have a courage to pivot. Means if things are not working, you should have a capacity to change your way, but don't change it after 5 years, because there is no time left after 5 years. Innovate, embrace ambiguity, keep work in progress limited. Now what is work in progress limited? A lot of time as a startup, we end up doing many things. Yeah, we are doing consulting also, we are developing website also, and we are also have our own product, and I also do a training of .NET, now 5 things. Now you need to identify what maximum at a one point of time. So I'm not saying 5 is more, I'm not saying only 2 is sufficient, but you need to identify your WIP, work in progress limit, and keep reminding yourself that things are going beyond my WIP. When things are beyond your WIP, prioritize. Drop the things which are not making much sense for you, because you can't put your attention to the complete thing. And the final statement is optimize the whole. You don't have to look, when you start optimization, especially for the software developers, what they look for optimization. They start thinking of how fast I can deliver code, from design till coding. That is the loop which we keep focusing on. Optimize as a whole talks about start from customer requirements and finish at customer delivery. So focus on what is the starting point and when the customer delivery is happening, and try to optimize this part, the complete cycle of it. For example, Pizza Hut, can they optimize just a process of baking or preparing pizza? What value we will get as a customer if they can prepare pizza in 5 minutes? Nothing. If you are ordering it, your value starts from you are making a call and you are getting a pizza at your delivery, at your home. And in this process, multiple roles, multiple people's efficiency will come into picture. So just by optimizing the cooking time or the baking time, it will not solve your purpose. So as a business owner, as a startup guy, you should think about the complete chain. How fast I can deliver to my customer. That's the final thing. These are some of my contact details. If you are interested in knowing anything about project management, just browse our YouTube channel. We have 100+ videos on project management, Agile, traditional project management, and we are doing also some technical videos now, test-driven development, etc., etc. And others are my Twitter handlers and LinkedIn. So many of you, when you start looking for a job, you will start exploring what is this LinkedIn is all about. So once you explore it, you can already explore some of you, good. So when you explore it, do connect. And Twitter is also a good channel. Beyond, use Twitter. Just don't use Twitter to follow Shah Rukh Khan or Amitabh Bachchan. Try to use it for interaction. It's a great channel to interact and identify various marketing and startup trends. Not in India, that people are not using it that constructively in India, but outside India it is used very well. So you can utilize them well. Okay, thanks for giving me a good listening. Thank you.
I'd like to call upon Ms. Vandana and Dr. Saurabh Srivastava to present our report.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.